I'll call the meeting to order. It's February 17, 2026. This is a regular meeting of the Old Saybrook Historic District Commission. I'm Paul Knierim. I'm a member of the commission. And I'll say welcome to our applicants and presenters. We're happy to have you here tonight. And going to ask each of the commission members and staff to introduce themselves. You probably know who's who, but to make sure that you do. So again, I'm Paul Knierim.
Alan Cantor.
County Lori.
Tom Stevenson.
Jeanette Wacker, staff.
Krista May, clerk.
Thank you very much. We have a full complement of regular members tonight, so I will not be seating any alternates. The first order of business is the minutes, the approval of the minutes of the January 20th meeting. The minutes were circulated by emails. Are there any comments, corrections, edits? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes of January 20 are approved. Thank you. I forgot to call for abstention, so there is one abstention. If there's no objection, I'll come back to the other administrative tasks under regular business so we can jump right into the public. We have the agenda this evening. We have 3 applications. So at this point, I will open the public hearing. And I don't know if we have representation on all 3 applications. Yeah, my thinking is that 68 North Cove is the heaviest of our applications. And so thinking we might be able to more quickly go through 152 and 96. Okay, so we'll start with those and then come right back to 68. So for first on our list is an application for certificate of appropriateness for 152 North Cove Road. This is an application for placement of a generator and the construction of a cedar fence to conceal it, at least in part. The applicant is Susan Kim.
She's on Zoom.
She is terrific. Susan,
Hello.
welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Let me give you the floor to embellish, if you wish, the application that you have submitted.
Yes, my property is very small, as you may already know. So the best place for placement of a generator, according to our contractors that I've gone through, thought that next to the fireplace was the best place, or the chimney. So in order to prevent view from the street and the water, the best solution I thought would be to put a cedar fence, which resembles a lot of the cedar fence around the on North Cove. So that is really the request for certificate.
Thank you very much. Are there questions from members of the commission?
Susan, do you have a propane tank somewhere on the property? How is that? I assume this is going to be a propane generator. How is that going to be? Where's the fuel for that?
Yes, I already have 1 propane tank, which I'm gonna increase it to 2 tanks. It is in the backyard of the house, and so it will be, appropriately. I mean, I think they did say that they have to dig a trench to have a bigger line placed for connection, but other than that, it seemed like it was doable.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
What is the height of the fence? Do we have that listed?
So I mean, I looked at some of the websites. They seem to run about 4 feet high, which would certainly hide the generator easily. But I'm certainly willing to put it higher if that is requested by the committee.
As in application 3 to 4.
I see it says 6 foot, and so I'm not sure if that's the width or the height.
Let me see 60.
I think the height was gonna be about 4 feet, as I recall.
It's on
Yeah,
the,
the width and the length.
oh, you're right. I think they're saying it's 6.
Yeah, I think that's the length, but the height, 3 to 4 feet is what she talks about in the application.
3 or 4 feet. Does that make a difference?
Are there other questions from commission members? Susan, this is Paul speaking. I had just one question, which is, if I understand it, it's 1 6-foot length perpendicular to the house. Did you consider the possibility of having a return? In other words, another piece of fencing so that the generator would be concealed for someone who's approaching along the street, seeing the side of the house?
Yes, I think that's very appropriate. I would certainly consider that to have a side piece as well. As long as the property line allows it, certainly.
And do you feel that it would do a better job of obscuring the generator from the street view?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions from members? Okay, any questions we don't have any other members of the public in attendance, I gather. Any questions or comments in this part of our public hearing? Okay, if not, I'll move on to the second item on the agenda for the public hearing, which is a petition, application for a certificate of appropriateness.
Do you not want to close the hearing on 152 and then have a motion about it?
Well, you could vote on this one now. Wait, you didn't just vote, did you?
No.
We didn't
Yeah.
even close the public hearing.
Yeah, I was inclined to go all the way through the public hearing, take all three, and then conduct the
Okay.
commission business after that. Is there any objection to proceeding that way?
None.
Zero.
Um,
Can I just make one suggestion?
sure.
I think you could vote on that now. So that Ms. Kim could leave. Otherwise, she has to stay through the whole thing, right? But
Yeah,
that's how it's normally done, but. Right?
She doesn't have to stay for the whole thing. She'll get a letter either way, right?
Well, unless there are other questions that come up.
Well,
yep. So I like to keep the public hearing and the commission deliberations as separate things. And I think that's better achieved by going all the way through our public hearing and then having the
You're the chair.
commission deliberate. All right, so the second item for the public hearing is number 96 North Cove Road. This is this application for certificate of appropriateness to remove and replace all windows and doors in the house. Is there someone here to speak on
That
that?
would be me,
Okay,
Anthony Brodeur from North Cove Construction.
thank you.
And so basically the windows and the new residents there, they're pretty well past their useful life. We've done repairs to the window fronts. And different, over the years, over the last few years, we've had a substantial amount of repairs just to keep them going. They're out of warranty. So, and they're Eagle brand windows, which really should have never been put in a coastal environment to begin with. They're not rated for that, they're not, the warranty was void as soon as they put them in. So So basically, they want to replace them, eventually all the windows, so we're gonna start with a handful that are the worst. But they wanna use all Marvin aluminum clad, simulated divided light, proper windows, same light patterns, same style, same size, everything would be identical. The trim would be the same, and from the outside, you wouldn't even know, same color, everything, so. So I said, rather than getting approval for a couple at a time, let's just get approval for all of them. And then we can just go to the building department, and get permits as we go. So,
Do they anticipate to do this in fairly rapid succession though?
I guess, I think they want to do them all eventually. The timeline is not exactly clear, but we're already pricing out other rooms with other, because some of the windows, the seals are broken, they're not even insulated anymore. So we're kind of going through.
So their approval is, as I understand it, is good for 3 years.
Yeah, it'll be within that.
With,
timeframe.
and then if they can get an extension. if
Yeah,
they need to.
within that time frame for sure. It's nothing that, it's kind of the same style windows we did at 141 a couple years back. And then I think there's some of what you used in your work and your, same brand, same style. They're a top of the line. Good window.
Question on the spec from Marvin. I see everything here that is pretty standard. One thing I just highlighted here was the black stainless steel perimeter spacer bar.
That's how they make them.
So what am I looking at when I'm looking at from the outside? Am I seeing
You
black?
don't see that. So
Okay.
basically, you see the white part. So a simulated divided light, there's grills applied to the glass. They're not individual panes of glass.
Right.
And so that in between those in the glass, there's a spacer bar that's black.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, and it's in board of the white.
Yep.
So they used to make them aluminum or black. Now they just make them black.
Black.
The only option.
Got it. Thank you.
What's the useful life on these windows?
So they're a 30-year window.
10 years, 20 years,
30.
30 years?
Oh, yeah. Yep. The glass, I think the glass is 20 years, the glass. But the window itself is, I mean, they're probably one of the better ones to buy.
When you say replace doors, are you talking about just storm door or the
Exterior doors, no, the
whole thing?
yeah, the storm doors are fine that are there now. They're wooden storm doors, they're just frames, actually, they're not storms. And the one on the front door is a full glass one because, and that front door is not part of the application because it's a custom made door with a big arch top. That
You're
would.
not replacing.
No, that wouldn't be a Marvin anyway, that would be a custom made one. So the glass kind of protects that one, the wood, because if you don't have an overhang on your house, there's no warranty on it. So, that was part of the original build, and that's not part of it. It's just the Marvin one. So there's off the back, if you look in the picture,
Okay.
the patio. doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the ones in the back there, yep. No, okay.
Other questions from members of the commission?
What project?
So what
It is.
Yeah.
The guy who built it is John Price built that whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and back in those days, they put the clapboard up raw. rock on the back, so it's raw. So the paint doesn't stick to if it gets moisture behind there, and then when the sun hits it, it acts like a balloon. So it steams out and bubbles paint. So they're having a hard time keeping, I gotta patch paint it all the time. And now you just get it all oil prone.
You do a good job of it. keep it nice.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It's a nice house. And it looks like a reproduction style house. You get the tin coated copper flashing on the overhangs and things like that. It's pretty cool.
Okay, on this application, I don't think we have any members of the public for question or comment. If not, we'll move on to the third item. on The agenda for public hearing. It's 68 North Cove Road. It's a application for certificate of appropriateness. Have a
You should.
sizable
Yeah, yeah.
application here with a lot of details and specifications as well as plans. So welcome again on this.
Okay, so I'm Anthony Broder again, and this is the architect David Noe. And we've been contracted by RJ and Heather Valley to hopefully do this project. So, and there's two aspects to the project, and the idea came about where previous application, they had three freestanding sheds. They were kind of like just plopped there on the drawing or atlas.
Yeah.
So one day after we were doing the kitchen remodel back, I mean, we did a big kitchen remodel a couple of years back. And I said, geez, why don't you just take these sheds out, put a nice real barn, nice. So that's kind of got the ball rolling. And one day Heather said, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. So the idea would be is to build the 3-bay garage carriage house with an accessory dwelling above, because they do have 2 adult boys that visit from time to time. And so that would be kind of like a good place for them to park when they're visiting. And then the workshop off the back would be RJ's, woodworking, boat building stuff, hobby stuff for snow boards. He does a lot of that kind of stuff, surfing and things like that. So he's got a lot of hobbies. So that would be. So the idea would be to build that, they would live there in the accessory dwelling while we're renovating the entire house. So, because the house, they love the house, but they don't love the layout inside. So almost all this work is to facilitate the layout that would serve them better. So Heather needs a big office. She has a pretty big job that works a lot from home in the office. RJ does a little writing, right? I think you're doing another book soon. I don't know if it's pretty soon. Yeah. So they want to kind of make it so it works better for them. So it is kind of chopped up now. Staircase is in a funny spot now. So it all kind of ties in. So
Tony did such a great job with the kitchen that we want the rest of the house to match the kitchen.
Well done.
So yeah, so.
I know, I was gonna say.
So basically, I think we could go through the outbuilding first, if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, David, he created this, so I think you can let him explain what's going on there.
Yeah, so I mean, really our main focus was to kind of try and take these two buildings and make them like they belong together. So we're using similar materials, windows, grill patterns, even the roof lines and stuff with the dormers. So kind of carrying some of the stuff from the main house into the outbuilding. So you can see here, this is the first floor. So this is essentially in use of the apartment above, the space above. So there's an entry here, you come up, you go up the staircase, and then you're into this space, which We have a kitchen, a small family room, and sitting area, and one bedroom and bath. So, it's really kind of, useful, but as minimal as possible to use as a one bedroom apartment. And then we have a supporting mechanical area here. On the first floor, we have the 3-bay garage, the workshop behind, and then a supporting, powder room, which is in use of the pool area as well as, our dig workshop. So, we'll look at the elevations a little bit.
Are there any questions on the layout? Okay.
So yeah, so the aesthetic on the exterior, again, was trying to bring in a lot of stuff from the main house. A lot of the trim details are very similar. The profiles of dormers, even, the garage doors are very similar. And then the materials using, clapboards, cedar clapboards painted. It does change a little bit towards the back just to break it up. On the back side, we have some vertical siding. Yeah, so this is kind of, instead of using similar dormer aesthetics.
What are you using for the roof material? Did you say you were doing metal?
Yeah, this is copper, correct? I mean,
No, that is going to be aluminum that looks like aged copper. Because just in this building here, in the aluminum standing seam, but aged bronze look, I think there's a picture of it on your application. And that's for somewhat of a cost savings for that building. Yeah, and actually the big roof part on the lower part of the asphalt to match the house. So there's 2 roofs going
yeah,
on
so
there.
this will all be
Yeah,
the asphalt, and then where you see these lines, that's the standing seam, aluminum.
Yeah.
And then this is in your package, here, this was kind of an aluminum stuff.
yeah.
I'm curious, when you say you're using similar, I noticed that you have different style garage, from this garage from the other one. So I'm just curious why you chose.
So this one has kind of a vertical, and so the lights are the same, but the panel here has a vertical heated aesthetic, and the house has a non-heated aesthetic. Mostly because the house was a little bit more formal, and then in this, we wanted more of that, the bottom up, so we did, we used a complementary garage door, but slightly different in the panel.
So help me remember. Look at all of this, but rather than my whole students again, that faces what direction? The garage doors are facing which direction? East, south,
East.
which is the same direction as the other garage doors, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
just
look at all.
want to clarify that. Okay.
That is, yes, you're correct.
Considerable distance away. And
It's physically impossible to actually see both at the same time.
yeah, so. Here, yeah, see well, I don't know, maybe we'll see this feature here is the like 5'11" high brick garden wall. Brick base, so it's on the application, so if you're here looking at this, you'd have to be probably way back here to see both at the same time, but certainly we could do the same if it was a big sticking point. But I agree with David that the style, architectural style, probably the way he has it is good, but I mean, if it's something that I think is important, we can, I don't think that would be a big problem, but make them the same.
What's the square footage of the building you're describing? So
I got that ready for
our
you.
foundation footprint, just to actual size that.
So the footprint is 1644, and the apartment is 982.
Okay, and the outbuildings that you're talking about, sort of suggested removing, is there a ballpark as to what they were? That's
We have them or some, so I don't have them.
There actually, there's more than those 3 outbuildings. There's the 2 sheds here. So, so with removing these, And adding those, we're still well within the zoning regs. It's not gonna.
Yeah, affect the overall. And then what about your septic tie-in? Are you?
No, it's gonna be a whole new system.
Okay.
But that design has to go through,
Oh, yeah.
with zoning with Joe Red.
No, just curious.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I don't see anything about this 5 foot tall wall
Yeah. the
on
brick
this
wall.
application, where it is.
There's a picture, there could be a picture of the brick and an explanation of it. I think I put it on that. So. Yeah,
The Buckingham.
Shouldn't that be part of the application?
I think it is,
But it's not on the.
It's
It's
not in
not,
the description.
She's saying it's not in the application.
Yes.
right here, where's the right here?
She's saying it's not in this application.
Oh, in that part right there, I didn't.
So
I
would
didn't-
this be, is the brick in phase one?
Yes. The pool, we're gonna do the pool at the same time? Yeah. It will be phase one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, our part, I have it in here, but I didn't, I guess I didn't list it.
It never made it into the legal ad, the wall. Because it wasn't listed here, so. I don't
good to note,
think that. Put that together.
right, we might need to.
All right, well, we can come back for that. If we need to do another addendum.
That's a significant one.
We just.
There are other new fence, is that in the application?
Fences in there, yeah. I thought I put it in.
Vinyl pool fencing is in the description.
Where's the street from there?
You point five.
The road coming up is here.
In the application.
The North Cove Road itself.
That's way over there.
It was advertised, the fence was advertised, because it was in between the description and the proposed materials. How we came up with the legal.
Okay, so you advertised, we advertised, we advertised.
Yes.
Right.
Well, then it doesn't need to be specified on this.
It's in the application because even though it's not on the application, it is in the packet. You listed on, I think, the proposed materials. So it was advertised.
That's not my
Final
request.
fence.
That's not my question. My question.
Does it need to be on the application form itself?
Right.
I don't think so, because it is in the application packet. It was submitted with all of the materials. It's on the agenda.
Well, see, on line item 2, I just said, see the specs, it's just too much to put on this one page. So these specs are all really supposed to be part of that application. Right, I mean, it would be,
That's how we viewed it, yes.
yeah. So I
I think
think,
it's rather confusing to consider when things are, that normally would be here, you have to dig through to find and say, oh, that's part of it. That's my opinion.
but you have this part right here, you have this part with it? No. This is all one PDF document.
Right.
Yeah, so we did do 10, right? We did 10 of these and 10 of the big prints.
Yeah.
The
Is this
submission.
mine or yours?
That's mine. There's one from Easy Kids. That's.
This is mine.
Okay, I think we can address that topic during our deliberations.
Okay,
If you want to continue with your presentation,
Yeah.
please.
So, I think we're all set with the exterior elevations, unless you have any other questions for that. On the outbuildings.
I just, one thing I want to explain is phase one would be the garage and the pool and the fence and all that hardscape, you know, any of that work there, because we're gonna have a machine there. And we're gonna take out the old pool, put the pool in and all that, so. That's kind of how it would phase. I don't know if it matters to you or not, but.
So as part of phase one, you're seeking approval on all of those elements.
Everything from the wall that's staying, that landscape wall over. Now,
From here over.
from there over would be phase one, because we're gonna have the big machine there. You dig in the foundation, I said we might as well that's the time to do the pool as well. Because, you know, it's
But you're seeking, approval for phase 2 and 3 also
everything.
tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and as part of the, we're gonna, obscure the pool equipment in the small shed. So that was another part of this phase. You know, so again, it's, you know, trying to keep everything cohesive on the site. So similar trim details again, window patterns and grills. So this would be a small shed kind of in the back, you know, obscured, you're not really gonna see it. But it'll also have the pool equipment in there, rather than having it out on the site.
Right now, it's kind of just sitting there on a slab. Pipes running everywhere and, you know, just kind of clean it up.
Yeah.
Protect it.
So for phase one, before we move on, it's the three-car garage with apartment, the pool house,
Mhm.
mechanical, the brick wall, and all of the hardscape landscape that goes around that pool, including the pool.
Yeah, it's a new pool. The pool, the way it's configured, the pool needs a big repair anyway. If we kept it there, and the way it's configured, it gets a lot of debris from all the trees on that other, the west side, yes it is. So if they orient the pool the other way, it's gonna get more direct sunlight. It would be a lot easier to maintain. So that was while we're making the mess, it's the time to do it.
Under this new construction, does any of it change the height of it? So it's more visible from the road or the cove?
In the house or on the new building, of course, yes. On the new building, yes.
Okay, that's the,
There's no building there now. It's just a little small
it's gonna be
shed.
the workshop and,
Yeah, that'll be, what's the height of that?
I think we had to be under 20. I gotta try, we did make sure it met zoning, so we're not seeking any variances for height. You know, yeah, there's 20 or 24. But we made sure that this height met zoning regulations, which actually required a bunch of redrawing. Trying to, you know, make these roof lines work, and keep the scale down was,
and any of this reconfiguration, will it restrict any kind of emergency vehicle from getting close enough to the house or anything?
No, the same driveway, not moving the driveway. So there's a private road, comes off that services, there's 4 houses that services. Okay, 4, 3, 4, yep. And so, and then their driveway is right off of that.
Right.
So it's not gonna change, the driveway's not changing at all.
so this here, this is the setback line, so we tucked it back as much as possible for, you know, so we're not obstructing views and we're the least amount visible from the main road. You can see we're really tight here on the 15-foot setback, and then we have another rear yard setback, so. We're as conscious as we could to, keep it.
So here's the existing driveway right here, and it kind of comes in just the way it is, and then comes over here is to get to the house. That's not changing. So, and I'm imagining the septic will be in here.
You're just going to use it. In the driveway to get into the.
Everything we do on, the driveway, it's all gonna be crushed stone, so it's not gonna be any, no. So we'll have a small apron in the drip line and that's it.
I have a question about the siding on the outbuildings. There's reference, I think, in the specifications to using some of it as vertical siding, that is a cement board
Yeah.
product. Our commission has had some discussions about various materials, including that. Can you just offer your perspective on why that's a suitable product for this application?
Yeah, so the front will be cedar, clapboards painted, and then this back portion, which isn't as visible, less visible from other locations. You know, it holds up really well, it paints well. You know, once it's painted, it really looks like wood.
Well-
And,
If I can chime in a little, because originally the design had cedar vertical side. And because that is backed up to the most vegetation there, I suggested for the longevity of and maintenance to use the hardy board. So, it's gonna hold, it'll paint for, I think it's guaranteed for 25 years, the whole paint. So, and once it's up and painted, it looks very similar to the wood product. And in my opinion, it looks better than the painted AZAC, which is, you know, common material for trim, you know, and different features, so.
yeah, there's a little more texture in the.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's more realistic looking.
So that's really, and I just I like to look at things from the owner's perspective, what they have to do to maintain things as well. And not, you know, because we could have, AZEC makes a product, but it's plasticky looking. But you can paint it and it looks fine, but it tends to move a lot more, see more lines when they move if you paint it a darker color. So this moves a lot less.
My concern is knowing that part of the house, or that part of his house, this is the structure, is going to be in shape a lot. So that moisture will be all the known concerns. That is what might be saying, let's go that direction.
It's actually probably less costly than cedar right now. The cost of cedar, it's expensive, very expensive.
Thank you. Other questions about what we've seen in the presentation thus far? Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Maybe we should go to the existing.
Yes.
All right, on the first floor, we have this covered portico area. And, you know, we spoke with RJ, it's cutting off a lot of the light coming into the house. I mean, as it is, there's a lot of plantings on this side.
Wait,
Um,
where, upside down. Sorry, no. East.
Yeah, this is,
Okay.
that's.
So the road is
north.
there. The
Okay,
road is on this side.
okay.
The road-
Show me where their kitchen is.
That's the kitchen there.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I need to know.
Yeah, and you come up in here, so there's heavy plantings in this area.
Yeah.
And it was cutting down the light, and then that overhang was also cutting the light because it, you know, creates a canopy. So these rooms right now, their proportions and their shapes are kind of rendering them somewhat useless. So what we're gonna do is take this footprint that's already existing and already has a roof line and really bump the house out to this line. Which allows them to get more effective living areas in here, a more effective dining room, while we're not increasing footprint. So that was really the main goal of this portion. And then on the second floor, I mean, there's reconfiguration on the interior as well. I don't know if you guys are concerned with that, but.
Fortunately.
Yeah,
um,
right. We can do that.
There's enough
Over
here.
drinks and snacks another time.
Yeah, good enough on your plate, right?
Yeah.
this portion here is above the garage. And, you know, right now it's kind of storage and it's unframed, unfinished. The idea was to pop 2 dormers up, so this could be used as, an exercise facility. Again, you know, it's kind of area that was already there. It really just requires putting dormers in, to create a little bit of a headroom, usable space. And it's already accessed here by a door, so, it seems kind of like, you know, bonus space that we
And
can.
that's in the back of the house.
Yeah,
It's over
over
the
the
garage
garage.
here.
So this is that portion with the living room area, and then this is the garage. And the pool's over there. But we're gonna remove, you can see it really, it allows that dining room to become much more usable. You know, 19 by 15. You know, it's more in proportion with the house. You can see this in terms of the scale of the kitchen. You know, allows them to get a dining room table, they can put family around, and it's a lot better. In the living room area, so proposing removing the existing chimney, which is right about here. And again, that allows us to increase the size of that living room. I want to go this way than this way. And we feel as part of that, we can kind of work with the facade and kind of make it look a little more appetizing to the neighborhood and kind of clean up, some of the, you know, interesting, that concern design decisions on the first go around. So I'll show you guys that. Yeah. So here, right now, there's 2 large overframed gables that are really kind of just tacked onto the house. There's no, they're not open to the interior, put there. And then there's a kind of an awkward brown window that's in the middle. Yeah, so we were gonna take those out, put more of a traditional style, gable, more in proportion with the house, and clean that up. This part here, that Palladian window is just gonna be replaced with just a straightforward colonial style window. And then as we bump out this portion of the house, we're gonna use similar corner boards that we see on the house now. And then kind of have this sort of repetition of window, column, window, column, window, column. So it looks like an infill, porch really. So we get a lot more light in there. This is now at the same plane as the face of the house. We get the light in there, we get, sort of a nice aesthetic as you come across the front. Then this part here, where these are the shed dormers going to pop up over the garage to the exercise facility. And these are the garage doors. So as you move around, so these are the dormers, so they're not up above any of the other roof lines. It's not going to create any more obstruction for view. Here you can see, you know, we brought that line out in line with the face of the railing above. And then in the back, that's the same dormer. And that's the front. So it's, you know, everything's kind of the same look, but just kind of just taking the house to the next step. And making more functional for the valley.
You can have gutters on it?
They're good. Yeah, they're copper good.
Couple gutters.
Yeah, they're existing on the house already.
Okay.
Yeah, then it will be required to manage all that runoff anyway, right?
Well, the dormers won't need them because they're gonna hit the existing roof line.
Yep.
So those won't need it. What's there now is basically gonna stay.
The dormers that are being crafted, will they be trimmed and sided with cedar or AZAC and cedar combination?
Exactly, cedar, all the clapboard in the whole project is cedar. And all the trim is AZAC painted.
Yeah, any of the trim on the main house will match the existing. You know, even the fluting and detailing.
Yep.
Matches the existing fluting in the house.
It's the same as what we did when we did the kitchen too. Same. So very much match everything. So. And all the metal roofs on the main house are copper, real copper. Right? Because that's what we did in the front, in the kitchen. Yeah, that's all. They'll all be copper.
In the east elevation, the first floor where the porch is infilled is the column appearance between the windows. Is that the same number as existing, or does that increase the number of the vertical columns?
That does increase, yeah. We looked at a lot of different precedents to come up with this, and we felt that this was the nicest aesthetic. Because it had a nice repetition. And then these down here, these would be panels. And these are panels and stuff.
The main house will not have any garage attached to it,
It has it right
on
there,
the left side.
right there. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's there
So
already.
It'll be a two-car garage.
It is there
it's
already.
there. They're just putting those dormers on that second floor so they can work out.
And as part of the application, we're gonna replace the garage doors from what's there to these that would match. They're an overlay, which are frame doors with a skin of composite AZAC that make it look like a panel. So they're not like a stamped steel, yeah. So that's part of the application as well.
Any other questions?
You just had a chimney. So there's two chimneys currently, and one is coming down completely and not being. Right, okay.
Yeah, that's the one that's coming down this year. So as we infill this space. I have a-
Well, where the chimney is right now, it's in a terrible position, and when the way the house is constructed, and we had a big repair to do where it's water main. It's a bad situation the way it was set up, but
One allows us to get a couple of stuff, those are from this.
yeah.
Okay. So porch infill, dormers for gym, garage door replacement. Chimney.
All the windows.
And
all
these
the
dormers.
All-
Dormer.
Oh, and then new
Yeah.
dormer, okay.
And the windows that were not replaced yet, they will all be replaced with Marvin. Well, the windows they're all starting to go on.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all Marvin.
End of life.
Okay.
Thank you. Other questions? Any other elements that you wanted to present?
Everything that's on the application, basically, I mean, it's, I don't think there's anything else really.
So phase three,
That's phase 3.
that's phase three.
That is phase, was going to be, the pool was gonna take the back seat, but because we're doing,
Oh, phase three went into phase one because of that.
because of the,
Okay,
yeah. So,
all right. I don't think so. Yeah. So do you expect your boys to come back and stay there now?
Well, considering one of the ideas to installing a golf simulator.
There you go. Like you guys are just really setting yourselves up.
I don't wanna be a valley kid.
Okay. Patios.
Flat work. Yeah, but the flat work, you don't get involved with, on grade, can't really see it.
Well, it's within our scope, is it not?
If it's visible from the public way, which would be North Cove Road or the river.
Yeah, none of the flat work is,
Visible.
no, none of it is.
It's all inside the pool.
Yeah, no, and it's elevated. It's pretty high off the road. It's probably what, 7, 8 feet up?
At least, yeah.
It'd be 10 feet high.
We're 15 over the high water.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you would never see any of that front work. No.
Okay, I think we're through our questions. Thank you for your presentation. I'll note there are no online participants and no members of the public, so no other questions or comments. Do I need a motion to close the public hearing, or is that chair's prerogative? Need a motion? Okay,
So moved.
thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, thank you. So we'll move into the commission's business now, and I see that Susan has departed from being online, and so to take up say her matter last. Why don't we first address while everyone is here, the application for 68 North Cove. Would commission members like to comment or make a motion?
I have two things that I wrote down that I think we need to think about. One is hardy backer being applied to a structure, because we've been pretty anti for a while now. And everybody wants hardy backer on the north side of their house. I get it. But it's definitely setting a precedent for the commission to be allowing it. We need to think about that. So that's one. And then the other one was the metal roof combination on the outbuilding. You know, I drove through the other day. There's not a lot of metal in North Cove that's visible. There's a couple of spots, things, you know, window trays and so forth. So that's just two things I thought we need to probably think about.
I think we have to remember this is a non-contributing house. I
Mhm.
just want to make that point.
Yep.
Before I think about this. I'm concerned about this brick wall. Because that's a significant structure. And I don't, other than that, the brick is in the materials.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really visible for neighbors. Maybe not everyone, but for the immediate neighbors, and I'm just concerned about that. I'm not sure it's gonna apply for correctly.
I agree. I don't think it's not in the legal ad, so I don't even use it. They get into the official.
I mean, but we're accountable for what we approve.
Real quick, just to clarify, so it's not in the legal ad, so
Correct.
okay. So he's saying that because he had this add-on that's the attachments.
Well, the first question was Barbara was asking if it was in the application, and
Yes.
that picture's in the application and there's something on the plan. But on your application form and the listing of all the materials, it was not listed. So when we were drafting the legal ad, we did not include the brick wall.
Okay. That's good clarification.
Other comments?
I have a question. So that's
Mhm.
So,
This is the time.
yeah, so that clarification on the wall was good. And then the other thing is the hardy board discussion. Where, because I'm new, what's the historical precedent that we've endeavored thus far?
We've been talking about it for probably 3 years because it comes up often. And I know Bill was a big no-no on it. So I had drafted a while back some acceptable materials for windows, for siding, for roofing,
Yeah.
and it might have been one other category. And not that that was the list, but that was just something to start from for everybody to have a discussion. And hardy backer was sort of the besides vinyl siding, obviously, was sort of the no-no. for various reasons. I mean, I've sat on a lot of commissions in my life. People tell me the hardy backer looks the same as cedar clapboard does. It doesn't. You can say it does, it doesn't, but I mean, I can pick it up 2 seconds. If I'm driving along, I know exactly what's hardy backer or what's cedar or what's pine clapboard painted. But I know it's a viable alternative. I totally agree with everybody over here. It paints wonderfully, holds paint forever. It is nice. It's miserable on your tools, but that's a separate discussion.
Not our problem.
Right, right. But that was something we discussed for a long time, and it was my impression that we were sort of not allowing the hardy backer, but I don't want to state that as across the board, but it was, and I understand it's an outbuilding, it's not as crucial, but consistency through that whole neighborhood, there's a lot of cedar clapboard. So just something to think about.
I agree with you. I don't think hardy board looks the same at all. You can't pick it out. It does gap. But I struggle with, as you mentioned, the north side of outbuildings that can't be seen from the road if they're. And again, that also, you don't want to set precedent because then it becomes, a fight.
Everybody wants it.
Right.
Yeah, somebody else comes here 3 months from now, hey, 68 North Cove's got hardy backer, you guys allowed it, and all of a sudden
Right.
we're having a different discussion. So just something to think about.
With that discussion in mind, does anybody care to make a motion regarding the application?
We discussed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want to reinstate what Barbara said, this is a non-conforming house, and I think that's very important. So I struggle with where to land on.
I do too.
the metal roof.
Well, I don't think you can make an argument that it's not historic because it's not an historic house. And we actually specifically say in our guidelines, you're not supposed to be trying to make a house look like a historic house.
Right.
It's a new house.
Right.
That's not what we're trying to achieve.
Right.
Issue.
Right, and it's not the whole roof.
No.
That's an accent. Yeah.
A huge part. I mean, I think about, if this was an application for a new house, totally new house. Would we have a problem with them using metal roof on part of the house? It's gonna be seen like, that's the
Exactly.
traditional appearance. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think I'd have a problem. with that.
Right. And especially
It's not a material that we have said you can't use.
because it's the outbuilding, I think, and it's, again, you are lucky that you have some space that is not seen from the road. I don't live in that world. So I think, all of those pieces together, the metal roof is bothered, but I just, because it was raised, I thought we should discuss it.
Sure.
I think they're trying to use the best materials available
I
for
agree.
today. In 5 years' time, it's all gonna change.
Yeah.
To improve more materials.
But using the hardy board, I get the issues about the shade and, possible maintenance issues. I totally sympathize with that, but then the precedent issue is big for us.
This
And we haven't even, unless, I missed last month's meeting, I don't think we adopted new materials yet into our regs.
I'm still working on that, Brett,
Right,
for a while.
that was what I understood, so.
And the idea is obviously to grow with technology. We're not just gonna sit here and say you got
Right.
cedar clapper the rest of.
Right.
No,
management,
and
but-
that's why we're talking about updating our regs, but we do have artificial materials that have been approved in our regs.
Yeah.
And that is not among those.
I do have to say that the north side of a secondary building that cannot be seen from anywhere or anything, the logic behind not allowing that, I struggle with, especially on a non-conforming house.
If it's not visible from the public way, I think the regs say that it's, doesn't leave a COA.
So. Maybe we word our approval that the north side of the second garage, the new garage, is not part of the application. Would that be what we would need to do so that that's not, so that we're not approving that, we're not even involved with that? If it's not seen from the public way, it's not really part of our,
If you're sure that it's not, then
That's perhaps parsing a little much for
I'm-
this application. Yeah,
think of all the
But there could
different,
be a carve out
sure.
that allows for the logical application of a secondary material beside either building that is not seen from the public historic district right of way. I think that is more than appropriate and doesn't set precedent for what we're concerned about.
right, that's,
All right, so
Am I allowed to make a comment?
I'm gonna ask that you not, having closed the public hearing, thank you. In the interest of time and moving business along, I would suggest that we try to formulate a motion on this that would have the consensus of the commission. And I'm not trying to cut off debate, because even when it's moved and seconded, it's open for discussion among the commission members.
I feel like we're in alignment and we should do that.
yeah, it's just how we have to come up with the word that we like.
Okay, so first, let me just state the premise that I think I'm hearing agreement on, which is that we don't consider the brick wall to be part of this application because it wasn't spiked out on page one and because we didn't notice it. So on our end of things, we didn't give the public the notice that we would want to for a critical element. So our motion here is not going to include that component, but certainly welcome the applicant to come back with a single purpose application on to address that, so we can do it justice.
Dang it.
Okay. And if you generally can't see it from the street, then you don't even need to bring it back. Okay.
From the public way, it's not just the street, excuse me, I think it's seen by neighbors. I think it where it's wrote it on there, I'd be real surprised if it's not visible.
if you need to settle this now, I'll pull the regs out and we'll read it.
Let's do. Let's do. I think it's most helpful to the
Yeah.
situation. And
Okay, not required for. Hold on.
you're in the criteria minute.
Just for exemption, oh, hold on. Okay, portion or exterior of a structure or building not open to view from the public way, public street, way or place, including the waters of North Cove, the Connecticut River, and any public open space. So, someone else's house would be private space. So my understanding is it's the street, public street, or the river. For North Cove.
So we'll leave that to the applicant to decide whether they wish to bring an application on that or not. It won't be part of our approval process this evening. So not sure exactly where we are on the siding on the outbuilding.
So So I think in alignment with what we just read, if that back of that garage is not seen from the public right of way.
So I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Tommy. Sorry, go ahead.
Whether or not we're saying it's part of the application or not, it is part of that building that is part of our application. But I think if we align with the fact that you cannot see it from the public right of way, and it's north facing, it causes a significant burden on the landowner as far as upkeep, and it is a non-conforming property in a secondary building, that in that particular case, with all of those elements, we are okay with alternate siding that is not cedar.
I don't believe it's just north facing. I think it's northwest and south in this instance.
Yeah, 3 sides.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is a lot. If this is seen from the public way, is this seen from the public way? Is this seen from the public way? Why are we receiving all of this? If none of this can be seen from the public way, that's what I'm confused about.
Well, Barbara, I think the answer to that is that that's not our judgment and that's not part of our approval process. If an applicant brings forward an application for a certificate of appropriateness, we don't have to make a threshold decision as to whether it's
But we're
visible.
We're doing that. We're talking about, well, we can't see this from the public way, so we're gonna make an exception to what we have written. Note that other alternate materials were reviewed and considered, including fiberglass, insulated entry doors, hardy plank siding, and vinyl siding, but the HDC declined to include these items on this list at this time for this listing of substitute materials. So I'm just confused why we can say, because we can't see this, but we can't see any of this.
Right, so I actually think that when you're looking at the property as a whole, you can see the property from the right of way. So then the property itself becomes what is, and what's on that property is what is questioned in the certificate of appropriateness, because it's the property itself. I think in evaluating the materials and what takes place on those buildings on that property, using logic of what you can see and not see, or, helps determine if in this circumstance of a non-conforming house, whether or not you can logically use a different kind of material. But I agree with you. I think that the property itself in the historic district needs, what happens on that property is what we are evaluating, whether or not it is seen from the right of way or not.
That's not the way I understand our purpose.
So in just moving business,
Right.
I think, Tommy, you're making a comment about how you evaluate this particular element. I don't perceive you as seeking to create a ruling about whether it's visible from the street or not, or whether it needs to be in the application or not. It's your comment that in the context, you find it acceptable.
Right.
Yeah, okay. But that's one member's comment, and for all of us to discuss and
But to
make
your
a decision
point,
on.
if it's not just one side, if it's more sides of it, that you had said you thought it was northwest. I thought it was just the back.
Tony thinks if he doesn't speak, it's okay. Thank you. We appreciate your help. Okay, so if Tommy, do you wish to make a motion? Based on what you've said, I'm hearing you inclined towards a motion for approval of the entire application. And if that gets on the floor, that can be amended too. I'm going to emphasize to everybody, just by way of our process here.
I just want to confirm again this, what he was going here.
This is the side, this faces north.
Mhm.
This is the back. That faces west.
Right.
And this faces
So it's on the whole structure.
Here, I can have it.
that rear section of it.
If you look at the plan, so here's the street.
Yeah.
Up here. And all the way in the rear of the lot is this building.
Yeah.
This is the north side, it's facing the street. This
Yeah.
is the west side, that's the south side.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's covering these walls
Right,
and not these walls.
right.
Okay.
So I see two options, just try to guide the commission. We could make a motion that's approval as presented. We could make a motion that approves everything except with some guidance on our expectation for that siding. Those, I think, are the two options based on what I've heard from members thus far.
Very great.
Does anybody want to formulate a motion? Or do you want me to formulate a motion so that we can have discussion on it?
So, the question, so someone's gonna formulate a motion for the project phase 1, 2, and 3, except for the brick wall.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
We'll have it in our minutes that that's not included in the approval. In fact, I recommend we use what is on our agenda because it's a specific list of items and it was the subject of our public notice, our publication.
Mhm.
Mhm. I think the question is is it exactly this language from our agenda, a motion for approval, or is it that subject to some proviso on the siding on the outbuilding?
You know. On hardy board. I don't want to set precedent either, but I also don't want to make, you know, not modernize how we function and be cognizant of what owners have to endure. Anyone have any other guidance?
Well, I mean, I would make a motion to approve this project. I think it's a wonderful project. A couple things that minor things architecturally I might have considered a little different, but regardless, I would just motion for approval with the exception of the outbuilding, just make the whole thing cedar. I mean, 2/3 of it's cedar. Make it cedar. Clapboard.
Okay, so
And it's not a huge hardship. Economically, there's no difference. It's not a hardship in that respect, give or take.
So I hear you making a motion, and I just want to clarify for the record that the motion is to construct a new 3-bay carriage house with accessory dwelling unit above and home workshop addition, renovations to the main house and attached garage, including new dormer additions to garage and main house. Replace all original windows, replace front door, replace garage doors, enclose existing porch, remove chimney, remove existing pool and construct new pool with vinyl fencing, patio and pool equipment shed. Provided, however, that the commission does not approve the use of the cement siding on specified elevations of the outbuilding. Does that characterize your motion correctly?
100%.
Okay. Is there a second? Is there discussion among I'll take a point of order from you, Tony.
I just want to make sure that we clarify that siding will be replaced with cedar. Right? No hardy, but we'll put cedar in there.
Okay,
Yeah. but do we
Certainly
need
if-
to specify that
Can
in
you
the
put that in the
Yeah.
motion?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I appreciate that because otherwise you'd need to come back and tell us what you're doing.
Right.
Right, all right, so the proviso is that we do not approve the cement board products, but would approve, but do approve the project if those elevations have cedar siding. I have just one question before we move forward on that motion, which is, we do have other approved substitute materials.
Right.
Including AZAC being something that our criteria permits. Are you sure you want to do?
And approved, approved substitute material with the same likeness, the vertical. Because it could be AZAC.
Yeah,
or it
I
could be
think
cedar.
that might be the
So-
thing to do is that,
So,
that we approve, as you read all of this, with the exception of proposed party board on the second garage, but approve the use, or how do you say it? The use of approved substitute materials, either cedar or approved substitute material.
Okay. So,
Excellent. Since we've been working on the language a little bit, Krista,
Yeah,
could you read
Krista.
back what you
Okay.
have?
Great, and my batteries ran out just as quick, which is fantastic. So the motion is to approve everything on the application with the exception of the proposed, now I have hardy board,
It's cement board and.
cement board, okay.
Thank you.
On the second garage, but approve the use of approved substitute materials such as cedar.
No,
No,
We're just
Either.
wordsmithing. We'll get it.
they're the use of either cedar or one of the approved substitute material.
okay, the use of cedar or one of the approved substitute materials.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, do you want me to read that again?
Yeah.
Just,
probably.
yeah, the proviso, please.
Yep, the motion is to approve the certificate of appropriateness, everything on the application with exception of the proposed board, cement board on the second garage, but approve the use of cedar or one of the approved substitute materials.
Yeah, rather than substitute, just, can you say alternate,
alternate. Yeah.
Alternate.
the way it reads?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are people comfortable with the language of the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Is,
you want to change the second garage to the attached workshop? It's really one big building, that kind of sounds like it might be a separate building.
It's listed as detached garage if you wanna
Detached.
revise it
Well,
as such.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
thank you.
That's-
We're-
Helpful. I appreciate it.
We're okay with the word
Get there.
second? Yeah, the second detached,
No,
just detached.
Just detached
Okay,
garage,
yep.
yeah.
Excellent. Good work. Is there a second to that motion? Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion's approved. Thank you very much.
A lot. Thank
Oh,
you very
you
much.
made the motion?
Alan made the
Alan
motion.
made the motion.
Thank you. Yes.
Nice. Nice.
You got more? One more. One more.
Yeah, but WP.
You're welcome to stay, but you don't need to stay if you don't want to.
Nice
so-
try.
so much.
Nice project. Good luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm excited for you.
That's very beautiful.
And nice job at the prints and everything. Looked good. You came prepared. I'll say that.
All right.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening. All right.
No, I thought maybe it was okay, but yeah, my fault, really. We had cedar on the plan to begin with. I thought it was.
I think it's appreciated when the contractor suggests materials that would be good, and so, I mean,
And we all understand why they're being suggested.
right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. In the interest of time, next we'll take up 96 North Cove Road.
Like to move that we approve the application as for the removal and replacement of all windows and doors.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion's approved. Tony, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice evening.
Just one thing about that brick wall, I'm kind of going for the look, we'll have to come back, I know, but we're
Yeah.
kind of going for the look at Cole's property. That English garden wall in the front where the pool is. That
Yep.
kind of it's already that tall and then all that, just kind of for food for thought for when we come back with that. You know, Gene Cole, the black.
Oh, the Black Horse property,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe that
That's
nice big brick
Sure.
wall with the gate
Yeah.
there.
Right, well, I actually stole that as well when we did our
Your little
little
shower thing.
shower. Yeah, I
Remember
hate
that.
when that.
Hey, thank you guys very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Tony.
it.
Good night, Tony. Thank you.
Again, I'm sure.
Appreciate your presentation.
Really?
Ricky, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's there forever.
All right, let's take up 152 North Cove Road.
So one
On the Black Horse
fifty-two,
Tavern.
Yeah.
That's still public.
It's still great.
I move that we approve the application with the addition of a
Return.
return
Yeah, I agree.
cedar fence to screen the generator from the road.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second on the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? I just have a question. Should we specify, we do have a specification on it being 6 feet in one direction. Should we specify the length of the return? Do you think that's necessary?
That's why I said to screen.
Okay,
Yeah, as long as it screens.
is that captured?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen?
Should it go all the way back past the chimney to cover the generator into itself? We don't know how long that distance is there. do we?
What's up on the right?
We don't. I think you're right. We don't know. So
So it just needs to screen the
generally,
generator.
Yeah, so the motion is to approve the application with the addition of a return cedar fence to screen the generator.
Correct.
thank you. Any other discussion on this motion?
Some of the deeds used to specify no fences over 6 foot tall years ago, so I don't know about this property line that she mentioned, whether or not it allowed for the return on the border of the property between the two deeded
But
properties.
it's not gonna be 6 foot
Yeah, it's
tall.
3 to
We're
4.
talking about 6 foot in length.
Right,
Yeah,
but that was just giving an example.
yeah.
Sure. Sure. She seemed amenable during the
Yeah.
public
Yes.
hearing
Very
discussion.
much so.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion carries as well. Thank you. Given the hour, my suggestion is that we go back to regular business to deal with any correspondence and committee and staff reports, and that the old business items, perhaps we hold over until our next meeting.
Okay.
I do see we've got some nice progress with examples.
Yeah.
And Alan, thank you very much for
Yeah, no problem.
getting that prototype made up. It looks terrific.
Yeah, so I'm not sure it's too big. I had them go on the big side of big, but it could be shrunk obviously to anything. And one question I had for everybody is, a lot of these it's Old Saybrook Historic District Commission. Do we want just Historic District Commission? So it fits better because it's Old Saybrook, just throwing it out there as a question.
I like old safe.
Okay. It's a lot of stuff to make it fit there.
What's the sign say, going into North Cove? What's that sign say?
What?
About the historic district.
Welcome to the Historic District. Are you talking about the blue ones that are on the?
No, he's talking
The
about
metal
the
one.
brown.
Bronze ones.
Oh. Good question.
So I want to do this topic justice at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to acknowledge the work and thank
Yeah.
people who are working on it. It's terrific.
Okay, to just leave that with you,
Sure,
for paperweight for you?
yes.
You won't lose it?
Meeting.
All right, so back to regular business, just to cover the topics we didn't. Is there any correspondence?
No correspondence, no.
Okay. And how about staff report?
Did have one quick thing to mention.
Thanks.
Uh, I heard you guys talking about the Dock and Dine property, and the reason I'm mentioning this, just to quickly bring it up, is everybody probably already knows that the town was seeking to acquire that Dock and Dine property to make it public park. It would make one contiguous park area down at Saybrook Point. And I thought it was relevant just because there is a historic landmark on that Fort Saybrook Monument Park property there, the round table. So we kind of enhance that whole historic park area. And the referendum is on March 31st. And anything else? There's a new town website. I don't know if anybody checked it out yet, but if you've gone on the website to look at the applications or anything, you may have found things are looking different. It functions pretty much the same. You may find some dead links while we make sure everything works. That might take a little bit, but just to let you know, it's going to look different. It was to make it ADA compliant and to improve security for the
And it looks nice. I had trouble, and that's my own personal issue. I had trouble figuring out how to get my notifications logged in there again so that I get notices of minutes and stuff. Is anybody else having that trouble?
I haven't heard anybody else having trouble. It's supposed to be improved. You're supposed to be able to
I don't
really
know what
customize
I
it for what you want. May just take some getting used to, but if you have questions, you can call me or stop by. Yes. Try to figure it out myself first. then.
And so we're putting this off till next meeting.
Yeah, I think so, given how
Yeah.
substantive this meeting has been.
It's probably a good call.
Sure.
Thank you.
That's it for
But
me.
And I'm
thank you very
sorry,
much.
I into it like muddied waters and stuff that I just feel like on such a complicated application, you need to be really careful about what's included, what's not included, and what decisions we're making.
Mhm.
Um,
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Without objection, we are adjourned.